Very much. Well, happening tonight, Mead School Board is taking on a controversial new proposal tonight to ban critical race theory from the district and to ban certain books on gender studies from elementary school libraries. School Board Director Michael Cannon is proposing those changes. Among other things, his plan would limit some phrases or perspectives in classroom discussion. So here are some of the ideas that wouldn't be allowed anymore. That one race or sex is superior to another, that the United States is fundamentally racist or sexist, and that individuals should feel guilt or psychological distress based on their race or sex. Now, the school district's ban on critical race theory would prevent school district employees from discussing topics covered in books like Caste, How to Be an Anti-Racist, and the 1619 Project. Ahead of the school board meeting, Spokane's NAACP president, Keonta Duncan, shared her thoughts on these proposed policies. In a Facebook Live on Sunday, she said critical race theory isn't meant to make anyone feel bad about our country's history. She says students, though, should understand it, learn from it, and see how some of it still applies today.
It's not meant to make anybody feel bad or feel like they're less than. That's not the point. The point is getting real honest about what really happened, what really happens, current tense, what's happening, present tense.
So KREM 2's Janelle Finch is here now to expand on Cannon's proposals and what community leaders are saying on the impacts of these possible changes.
The Mead School Board is meeting here at Northwood Middle School. Tonight, Board Director Michael Cannon is proposing two policies that could change how history is taught in Mead classrooms, as well as what is allowed in library inventories. Community leaders tell me these policies could exclude communities from truly understanding themselves as well as their neighbors. But Board Director Cannon says it's not about exclusion, but rather when and where to have age-appropriate conversations.
Director Cannon says he's not disregarding American history, but believes how educators teach certain topics to students could be reframed.
I'm just trying to create some boundaries as far as the materials that we use to teach and sort of the perspectives that we teach that might be augmentations to history rather than just history itself.
He's proposing critical race theory be excluded from the Mead curriculum if the conversation stems from texts that are based on interpretation.
Being mindful of some of these parts of critical race theory that go beyond, really they go beyond teaching history into teaching an interpretation of history that I think can be harmful.
Spokane Pride President Esteban Heredia says limiting how classrooms discuss race could hurt community acceptance long term.
In terms of our intercultural understanding or our ability to have intercultural humility, when we don't have a diverse population of people, it's hard to know what does that look like and how do we create environments where all people's lives are affirmed.
When addressing books that reference gender identity, Cannon says elementary schools are not the age-appropriate place to start these conversations.
They're not remotely at an age where that's a reasonable thing to make them psychologically, analyze about themselves. Are they in the right body? Do they fit the right gender? I mean, that's, and to the degree that people think it is, it's for the parents to have that conversation.
Heredia says these proposals could discourage how people identify with themselves and their differences.
For students who might not come from the majority, by removing these elements, they lose a sense of who they could be. I think on the flip side of that, for those of us who do come from the majority, we lose a sense of who our neighbors are.
Cannon says he hopes people understand this is the beginning of the conversation and this discussion does not mean changes will be implemented anytime soon.
The board is scheduled to meet at 6 p.m. These policies are up for their first reading, meaning the board will not be taking action on them today. The meeting will be available through a webinar link as well as a call-in option. In Mead, Janelle Finch, KREM 2 News.